Are you serious? Are you serious? Folks, with their eyes on Syria, Benjamin Netanyahu is meeting with Vladimir Putin in Moscow. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu departed on a lightning visit to Moscow for talks with Russian President Vladimir Putin on Russia's new military presence in Syria. These new satellite images show 4 fighter jets parked at an airport there in Syria. Of course, these are Russian planes. Now, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu departed early this morning on a lightning visit to Moscow, where he was scheduled to hold a 3-hour meeting this morning with Russian President Vladimir Putin before returning to Israel tonight. The focus of the meeting was expected to be Russia's deployment of military forces in Syria. Now, last week, an Israeli official said Netanyahu would present to Putin the threats to Israel emanating from an increased flow of advanced weaponry to Syrian arena and from the transfer of lethal weaponry to Hezbollah and other terrorist groups. In other words, what Netanyahu is going to say to Putin is, not in an accusatory way, but he's trying to say to him, look, if you put too much of your stuff in Syria, some of it could end up in the hands of the Iranians that are there, or the Hezbollah in southern Lebanon, or other radical Islamic groups. So, that's his concern. And I'm sure he's concerned also about Russia as far as that's concerned. But anyway, Netanyahu is going to talk to him. Now, Israel wants to avoid any friction with Russian forces on the ground in Syria. So if Russian soldiers are accidentally hit in any Israeli strike in Syria, this could cause a crisis between Israel and Russia in their relationship. So now basically what Netanyahu is saying to Russia, look, we don't want any of your stuff, your weapons getting in the hands of the wrong people who you seem to be you're building alliances with. And if we do bomb Syria and kill some Russian soldiers, we don't want to do. We don't want to do that. We don't want to have a conflict here. But you're getting yourself right in the midst of this thing. And I guess the next question is, why are you doing it? On which side are you on here? This, folks, is the beginning of World War III discussions. That is what's taking place. When Russia puts themselves right in the middle of the Middle East, on the opposite side of Israel, Israel has to ask themselves a question and ask Russia the question, what are you doing? And the same could be asked about the American forces that we have sent to different parts of the world. What are we doing? And I think, if you're Israel, you're highly sensitive to the fact that this Iranian nuke deal that was just signed, which included the United States, Great Britain, France, China, Russia, Germany, and the Iranians, and it was vehemently disagreed with this decision was Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu because of the security risk it puts his nation there of Israel. So it's going to be very, very strange. If we're not careful, very dangerous what may take place. I'll put the link below on the issue of Russia's military presence in Syria. Israel's government is in coordination with the American government. The U.S. is also engaged in a dialogue with Russia about its military presence. All of this is going on right now as the United Nations 70th General Assembly is taking place. And the fact that Russia's President Putin will be at the UN by Thursday, by Friday, I think Friday, giving a speech. Same day that Hassan Rouhani's giving a speech of Iran, and Pope Francis of the Vatican, and President Obama of America. So, wow, are you serious? definitely a serious, high-level emergency meeting today on this, the 21st of September, to remember 2015. What's going to happen next? Are you saved? We're running out of time.